And the next lady I'm going to speak to in this little chit chat moment is a woman who I admire a lot. I met her 2 years ago. I had the opportunity of hosting her, inaugural conference, which did very well, and then we topped it again this year. And her story is absolutely fantastic. It's such a privilege, such an honor to welcome MDS boss mom, Myrtis Boothe. How you doing?
I am great.
Welcome.
I'm doing well.
Good to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you too.
The pandemic don't look like it mashing you up at all.
No. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it and helping others to fight it as well.
Fantastic. Now, for persons who don't know, MDS is a pharmaceutical giant, in my words. Would you describe it as such?
Okay, probably a little giant.
A little giant. Okay, so she's being modest. Yeah. Okay, she says it's a little giant.
It's a little giant, yes. We are both pharmaceutical, we do medical
Beauty.
supplies, and that is how we started, with medical supplies. And then we have transitioned as well into some consumer products as well. So
And beauty products, right?
that's part of the consumer part of it as well.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
MDS is a sponsor
Yes.
of BossMom,
Yeah.
Think Big.
Yes.
And a huge part of this conversation is the philanthropic work that will take place when they go out into the communities and they meet moms who are underprivileged. Just to kind of give a helping hand, and I understand that MDS came on to not only sanitize, but to also provide alcohol and sanitizers for the moms.
Yes.
Explain to me why this partnership was important to you.
This is important because we are talking about helping mothers and helping mothers in need, those of us who are a little bit more privileged. And that resonates with me because I can remember coming from a very underprivileged situation.
Yes.
When I said that. The fact is that I was greatly in need. My father died when I was 5,
Yes.
and my mother had 2 of us. My brother was 2, and so she was not educated. So she had to resort to this. I'm from Old Harbor Bay,
Yes.
Madrid, and that's a fishing village. And she resorted to that, selling fish and whatever. So the need was great. The only thing is that we would have been happy for whoever would help, but we were too proud to beg.
Yes.
So we know from then that
And from
there needs a
experience.
helping hand, right? And that led me into a profession of helping as well, which is nursing.
Yes.
Yes, so-
Now, I know a little bit of your story, which I think is quite inspirational, and I certainly hope that some of the viewers, who are listening to you or meeting you for the very first time will take the opportunity to go and Google your story. It's absolutely fantastic. We're speaking to boss moms, not just because they're mothers, but because they're in different phases and stages of their career. And I think something that stood out for me was when you started over, like you started your own business at 50. And your business is now 20.
Yes.
And for many persons hearing that, they think, but at a retirement age, like, why would you? How could you start over? What are some of the lessons you have learned for those of our viewers or participants about starting over and being resilient and sustaining?
You know, I think that the fact from my beginning, the fact from 5 years old, I realized that I needed to do something. I needed to be strong. I needed to help my mother, my own mother. And so I've always been in that situation. I was always the boss at that point from 5.
Yes.
Because I had to be
Step
helping.
into a role.
Right. And I had to be thinking, and I find that I'm remembering things from 5 years old.
Yes.
And I knew I had to be in a position where I could help. So whatever it took for me to be in the position to help, I did just that. You have to be strong. Strength is part of the whole situation, and to be the boss. Yeah, what does that mean?
Yes.
And what does it mean to be a boss mother? And I'm wondering, is it a boss mother or is a mother who is a boss?
Aye.
I
Aye.
I'm not sure, but I found myself having to make that decision at 50, and I did that probably with a lot of encouragement. But I'm always in situation where I am starting something. And I can remember even going back to my career as a nurse, going to National Chest Hospital, where I decided that I was going to start something new by getting them to change the name from it was Georgia Fifth Sanatorium.
That's what it was?
That is what it was, and that is where I went. Georgia Fifth Sanatorium, which was a tuberculosis hospital.
Yes.
But I went there as a young nurse of only 3 young nurses and decided that this had to change. And so I was one of those persons who helped to revolutionize and got the hospital change and worked there for a while.
Wow.
So I've always been in position where I needed to start and make decisions and make things work.
Well, listen, we are so much better for it. Thank you so very much. Again, her story is extremely rich. And again, you know, we look at the pandemic, we look at the challenges, we look at the adversities, we look at everything, the frustrations that a lot of us have had. And on the other side, sometimes it makes us, a lot of the times, it makes us much stronger. We have just, we adapt and we figure out a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have known or even realized our capacity if we hadn't passed through the storm. So thank you so very much for not just partnering with Boss Mom, but for coming here and just giving us some points that we can go home and we can really just masticate on. I really do appreciate it. She's the MDS Boss Mom. But she's made us ask, are we mothers who just happen to be bosses, or are we bosses who happen to be mothers? Thank you very much. MDS Boss Mom, again, a part of the philanthropic arm is to go out into these communities for moms who are underprivileged and ensure that they are observing protocols. So we understand things like alcohol and sanitizers, simple as those things are, they are extremely expensive over a period of time. So that's what MDS will be providing for these moms. And we're just so happy because a healthy mom, healthy family, and that is what it is all about. So thank you very much, Myrtis.